What's up, everybody out there in HeroClix Land? I am Vee Mus'e, and I just stole Scott's line.
Every single year. But you know what? If anybody out there is allowed to utilize that line, it is our venerable, most esteemed host, V.
Thank you so much, Scott. I can't believe this is going to be our fourth year of doing this.
I know it's insane. I can't believe that we're here. I can't believe this started as just a virtual event, and no one thought we could pull it off. Just through Discord and sweat, and just muscled it through. And here we are, almost $150,000 raised later in our fourth year, and bigger and better than ever, actually. So I can't wait for everybody to figure out what's in store and coming their way for the 2024 edition of Clicks for Huntingtons.
Yeah, I'm so especially because well, this is about the spoilers. Let's face it. This preview is exactly about the spoilers. I can't wait for some of you to see what these spoilers are going to be this evening, this afternoon, depending on what time zone you are. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Just a couple of heads up for you before we get into the nitty gritty of all of this. We are going to have some time for Q&A. However, it's going to be towards the end of this live stream. So sit tight. I will let you know how to present your questions in the chat when we get to that point in time. Also, keep in mind, if you do want to participate in this chat, it is a subscribers only chat, which means you need to subscribe to WizKids YouTube channel. And then after a certain amount of time, it'll let you start plugging your comments into the chat that you can start participating, everything like that. So look, there's a slight time delay as well when you enter in your chat, because I'm also trying to keep an eye on chat for moderation purposes. So don't panic if you enter something and you see it is slightly delayed. That's supposed to happen, but we will still get your information as it comes through. So that's all the fun FYI ahead of time before we get into the really cool reveals and the previews. But before we get to those, Scott, for those who might be new to this whole situation with HeroClix for Huntingtons, can you give them a rundown as to why we're here again for the fourth year?
Yeah, this all started with an event that we used to run in Hollywood, California, called the Freeze HD. And it was a big Hollywood glam event, a gala that we held out here at the Avalon Club in Los Angeles, where we would raise a ton of money to try and battle something called Huntington's disease. And my wife and I got involved, and we were fundraising, and we were reaching out to everybody we could to help us with our auction. And WizKids generously would give us a package every year, and we would auction it off, and we would raise $1,000 or $2 by whoever wanted to buy this really cool piece or this really cool bundle in that auction for the Freeze HD. And I kind of was thinking, I was going, we should just do an entire event based around HeroClix to raise money for the Huntington's Disease Society of America. And I had just gotten a call from my good friend Howard Brock, and he was interested in doing a charity event as well. And we put our heads together, we called WizKids, and between the three of us, we figured out, hey, let's raise some money here for a great cause. Now, if anybody out there doesn't know what Huntington's disease is, it's a neurodegenerative disease, best explained as having Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and ALS all rolled into one. It's genetic. It's handed down through families. Anyone who has Huntington's disease, if they have a child, that child has a 50-50 shot of inheriting this disease. So they say it is the family disease, because it really is. It gets passed down. And we found out back in 2014 that my mother-in-law had it. And my wife went and got tested, and we found out that she has the gene for Huntington's disease. There are different levels of Huntington's. You can be symptomatic, like my mother-in-law is, where you have issues with your movement or your speech, your cognitive abilities, all happening. Or you can be gene positive, where you don't see signs of any of the symptoms of Huntington's disease. And we're hoping that through events like this, we can do two things at the same time. We can help try and prevent anyone who is gene positive from ever seeing the symptoms by coming up with a way to battle this thing or cure it, and also help support those like my mother-in-law and the family around them who are battling this thing already. were in the fight already. So really, that's why we're here. And we raise this money and we send it to the Huntington's Disease Society of America. And they do amazing, amazing things with it. I've seen it firsthand. Like I said, it's in my family. So very in tune with all the ways that HDSA is able to help. And like I said at the beginning of this stream, we've raised almost $140,000. When I think about this being the quintessential family disease, I also think about our family, our community, and how we have rallied as HeroClix players and the HeroClix family to battle something like this. And I could not be more appreciative. Sorry, I get a little choked up, of everybody out there for stepping up and fighting something like this, because it's not everybody's fight, but our community is so incredible. And they've shown so much love throughout these 4 years. And it's just really cool to, just like my unboxing series, I get something out of it, but I also get to share with the community. And I feel like we've built something that they help us in this fight, and we are able to reward the community as well. So it's just a really cool symbiotic kind of event weekend. And so that's why we're here. That's what we are. That's what we're fighting against and what we're fighting for. And I had this idea a long time ago, heroes for Huntingtons, and I thought maybe I'd do like comic book artists or like enlist friends who are in the comics business. And that evolved into HeroClix for Huntingtons, where this incredibly strong, small but mighty community has just stepped up time and time again. So it's just really cool. It's really, really cool.
It's fantastic. And you can tell, even just from people jumping into the chat already, what a community this is. I mean, the HeroClix community in and of itself, fantastic community. The fact that you've turned this into something that is for such a positive cause has really rallied everyone together, and it's fantastic to see. And quite frankly, your enthusiasm and your passion for this also contributes to it. So thank you from us to you, Scott, for doing what you do and making this something that has come together. Well, someone has to say it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But it's not all just us, it's not just WizKids. It's not just me. It's not just Howard, who I have just the utmost appreciation to. And it's not just our community either. It's who we support that really is on the front lines fighting this thing. And we do our event each May, which is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month. And that was created by the Huntington's Disease Society of America, who is out there trying to just raise attention, just get eyeballs on this thing. Just awareness is just such a key thing. So that's why our event is in May. And really it's thanks, the most appreciation I have outside of everyone in our community is to HDSA. And I think that's a good time to maybe bring on our first guest, actually.
I agree. So as I transition over, Scott, why don't you introduce the folks to who we're bringing in this year? I'm very excited for this.
Yes, one of the directors over at HDSA, the Huntington's Disease Society of America, a man that I've worked with for many years, both in the Freeze HD realm and now with HeroClix for Huntington's for the past 4 years. I'm so excited to bring in Jameson Scala from the Huntington's Disease Society of America. This is the first time anybody in our community has actually been able to speak with him, and we're so excited to have you. How you doing, Jameson?
Scott, I'm well, thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Vee, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. It's great finally getting face-to-face, virtual face-to-face time with each other.
Yeah.
And I always say your last name wrong. It's Scala. It's Scala. I know that, right?
My family back in Massachusetts say Scala. My mom and dad got lazy and say Scala, so I will answer to either one.
There you go.
All right. And before we jump in and we start talking about HDSA and its origins and what you all are doing with all of the funds that our community raises, I wanted to start real quick. Oh, and my brain just left my head. I had a whole idea of what I wanted to talk to you about, but hey, this is live. This is what we do.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. Oh, and announce to the community that not only are they going to meet you here, but is it true you're going to come down to Huntsville for the event?
Heck yeah, I'll be there.
That's awesome.
Yep, first time. Looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I got to tell the community out there, Jameson Scala only shows up to the coolest events.
So there you go.
It's true. It's true.
So the question is who's going to be teaching Jameson how to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody in chat who wants to volunteer to
Right?
teach Jameson Scala how to play HeroClix while he's down for the weekend, please
I,
do.
I'll
Please,
need it.
please let us
My
know.
son is my son's the gamer in our family,
Oh,
not me.
there you
I
go.
play golf. He's the gamer. So thanks in
Yeah.
advance to anybody who volunteers to take that task on.
Well, before we jump into where the money that we are raising goes, I just, if you could tell us just a little bit about HDSA, because the community's heard me say that acronym, and they've heard me say Huntington's Disease Society of America for a long time, but they may not be completely familiar with HDSA and what its mission is and where you all came from. So just let the community know a little bit about HDSA.
Yeah, and I'll do my best to be brief. The first thing I wanted to say, Scott, here when you speak, I wanted to remind you one of our taglines, right, is that no one fights alone. At HDSA, family's everything. So we got your back. We've got so many other families' backs. We fight for you guys every day, and that's why we're here. It's why we're coming to Alabama. It's why we go to LA. It's why we have volunteers, hundreds of them all across the country. You know, they're the ones doing all this great work. But HDSA, I was thinking about this because I actually met with the granddaughter of the Guthrie family, of Woody and Marjorie Guthrie, earlier this week. And HDSA was started from a promise that Marjorie Guthrie made to Woody Guthrie, folk singer Woody Guthrie. This land is your land. In the later days of his life, as he was fighting Huntington's disease, she made a promise to Woody that she would find answers for Huntington's disease. And she spent the last 15 years of her life laying the foundation for what has today become Huntington's Disease Society of America. And so we're a nonprofit, volunteer health agency. For the most part, we're volunteer driven. We're only 30 or so staff, 20 in New York City, 10 all around the country who work with our volunteers, but we're 400, 500, 600 volunteers, 50 chapters all across the country that work to spread awareness, rally the community, host fundraising events that bring this community together, right? That was one of Marjorie's charges. If you go to hdsa.org and you look up our history, right? Marjorie says she pledged to do something about Huntington's disease. And those words challenge me, they challenge you, they challenge our volunteers every day just to do something about this disease. And so that's where it comes from. But the mission is to improve the lives of everyone with Huntington's disease and their families. It's rather simple. Our vision is a world free of Huntington's disease. And then new in the past couple of years is this moonshot that we built into our current strategic plan, and that's to have disease-modifying treatments available to all families. So that's our vision, that's our mission, that's our moonshot.
Now, man, it's
That's
incredible
amazing.
everything that you've done with such a small group of people, but a large, really everyone that's involved has such a large heart and such strength and an indomitable nature, really, to fight against this thing on the front lines each and every day. And it's so appreciated. And from one small but mighty community with HDSA to our HeroClix community, which, like I said earlier, is also small but mighty, I think we really see each other. And I think the impact has really been felt in our community because I think we understand an underdog story. When you're reading comic books and it seems like the odds are stacked against you, you're just rooting for that victory, and you never give up. You never give up on these characters that we read about. You never give up on these characters that we play with on the HeroClix table. And no matter how small the chances are that you win, we're always rolling the dice. And it's just a really cool thing. I feel that this community sees the HD community and vice versa. That's what we want to do. So the HC and HD communities coming together is just cool. And we've raised a good amount of money, and I just wanted everybody out there to get an understanding. I tell people in person, I've told people on the live stream before, but the money that we raise here, can you let the community know kind of where it's going and what we're able to accomplish with it?
Yeah, and I'll try and keep it, fairly simple. I'll center it around our strategic plan, right? Care, cure, and community. The 3 C's. Those are the 3 pillars of our current strategic plan. So when you think care, I think of our Centers of Excellence program, the HDSA Centers of Excellence program. So, Scott, you talked about it, small community. Not many people know what Huntington's disease is. Even primary care physicians don't know what Huntington's disease is. It's half a day in medical school that they hear about it, and then they're on to the next thing. So we put a lot of work into the last 10, 12 years or so, assembling this group, this network of colleges, universities, medical schools that specialize in care for Huntington's disease. And there's an application process, a very stringent application process. And every year they apply for this accreditation, if you will, and they earn this Centers of Excellence designation. We just announced earlier this year $2.1 million in grants to those centers so that they can provide that elite team care approach to Huntington's disease. Now, what does that mean, elite team care approach? It means that someone can go any part of the state of Alabama to UAB in Birmingham on their clinic day and see a geneticist, a neurologist, a therapist, a social worker, speech therapist, movement therapist, all in one day, and not have to go on 17 different visits over a 3-month period to be cared for. So that's the heart of it. That's what our Center of Excellence program is, that elite care, all in one day, all in one place. And there are 57 centers and 11 partner sites, so 68 all across the country. I mean, Scott, there's 5 in California. There are 4 here in New York. You got UAB and Alabama and a number of others all across the country. So that's just one part of what the HeroClix community supports when they support this event.
Yeah, and it's pretty incredible because when I first started helping just close to a decade ago now, I guess it's been about 8 years that I've been involved with you guys, to see, if you were in Chicago, I think when I first started, you might have to have traveled all the way down to Houston just years prior to that to find a Center of Excellence. And now it's just right in your backyard, and it's almost in every state. There's a community there for you everywhere. And it's so very cool that this is where that money is going to really help the families that are affected by this thing battle it. And like you said, we're also here for the moonshot. We're here for that high roll. We're trying to, as I always say, roll a critical hit. Let's knock this thing out.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Jameson. Last thing I wanted to ask for the community, because I know they always ask me.
Sure.
With any charity event, there's tax acknowledgement. I usually fumble with this. I know the community wants to know. We always send up a tax form site for everybody to fill out what they were able to purchase, when, bid, what tournaments they play on. How does that work, the tax acknowledgement? If you want to just explain a little bit before you take off.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, we need more people to fill those forms out. You work with Manelli and I, we get that form up so people fill it out. But I don't think enough people take advantage of filling that information out. So we need more of them to do that. We are required by law to provide a tax receipt for any gift made, to HDSA. We are a qualified nonprofit 501c3. But more than that, we want to provide that. We want to make sure we're grateful for every dollar we receive. We have 24,000 donors any year that, 20,000 of them give $100 or less every year. So all donations are important to HDSA, and we want to acknowledge those. We want to thank our supporters for their support. If there are folks who are on this call who maybe haven't gotten one in the past, then tax day's Monday, right? If you need one, I'll get your receipt this weekend. If you need one from last year, if you don't have it, if you lost it, jscala@hdsa.org. Email me. I'll get you the receipt that you need. But we'll take care of all of that this year. I'm happy to talk to more folks in person when I see everybody in a few weeks. So.
Awesome. And, for our international community, just want to let you know, if you are taking part in this weekend, we cannot speak to what your tax acknowledgement and all that happens in your country. So Canada, Britain, the Philippines. I know we have people contributing from all over the world. Not sure how that works for you guys. So everything Jameson just said is for the U.S.
Yes.
But like he said, no matter what the gift is, no matter what amount it is, no matter if you enter a tournament, no matter if you play one battle royal, whether it's virtual or in person, every single dollar matters, and that form site will be up after our event. It'll be open. Take advantage of that. Well, thank you for letting us bend your ear a little bit, Jameson. It's so cool for me to introduce the community to somebody from HDSA. I've been talking about you guys for years. Thank you so much for everything you do, for my family, for the many families out there, and from our entire HeroClix community. Thank you, man.
Yes.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I'm humbled to be in this position to serve, and to get to meet folks like you, and to thank all these incredibly generous folks. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. And for those of you interested in checking out the HDSA website, that link is in a pinned comment in the chat. So just go to hdsa.org and you can check all these cool things out. And Jameson, again, thank you for your time. So Scott, let's go back a little bit to the event that's going to be happening. How about the dates? Yeah. When can people expect the HeroClix for Huntington's to be happening?
Yes, 2024 HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend is happening May 1st, that's a Wednesday, through May the 5th, which is a Sunday. Yes, May the 4th is going to be happening, and that day is going to be a huge day for our event weekend. But yes, we have events lined up from Wednesday, May 1st through Sunday, May 5th.
Fantastic. So with this event running for a few days, I'm sure there is a schedule we can share with the folks who are joining us right now for this preview. What can you expect if you're going to be attending? And by the way, if you're interested in attending and you want a little bit more details, there's another link that's in that pinned chat comment as well that takes you to the HeroClix for Huntington's official website. And I do believe there is some information about venues. So if you're looking for a place to stay and everything like that, that's definitely a good resource to check out. But when people who are going to be attending get there, what can they expect for this event?
Yeah, so the cool thing is we have a ton of in-person events. We've been able to build that out. We still have a virtual footprint, and I'll talk about that at the end here. But Wednesday, upon arrival, the Wednesday night event is the Tracy Brock Memorial Welcome Tournament. And that is a very fun 3-versus-3 teams sealed tournament where you use old random boosters. And so you're seeing a bunch of pieces you haven't seen in a long time. And everybody is just having a blast playing these older pieces. I know a lot of the community has been playing for a very long time, so it's a blast for the past for some of us, but for newer players it's also like, whoa, this is what HeroClix was. This is so cool, so fun. And it's in honor of Tracy Brock, Howard Brock's wife, who unfortunately passed a couple of years back. Now, for people who don't know, Howard called me after Tracy had cancer that went into remission, and him and his wife had a talk, and they said, we want to do something charitable. We want to help a community that needs it, and we don't necessarily want to do a cancer drive. We want to find something that doesn't have the eyeballs on it, a smaller community that doesn't have people talking about it as much. And Howard thought of me. Howard called me, and geez, I'm gonna get emotional again.
It's okay.
He called me and he pitched this idea to me, and I had this idea to do something as well. And I am so deeply indebted to him and to Tracy. So it's a tournament that means a lot to us. They're amazing trophies that come along with the Tracy Brock Memorial. So if you can make it in Wednesday, that tournament is just so much fun, and really just in memory of just an incredible woman in Tracy Brock, and it is just so much fun. So I really do recommend people, if they can make it for the entire event, swing in. That tournament is a blast. When we get to Thursday, that is the start of our in-person and virtual battle royals. Now, our battle royals have insane prizing, and we'll get to this a little bit later, but the broadsword construct that just came out at Adepticon, we have so many to give away now for the battle royals, as well as tarot cards, as well as our very own unique prize in the bystander that was created by some of our tournament winners from last year. That all goes into our battle royals. And we also have virtual battle royals, and everybody who plays and wins gets one of the HeroClix for Huntington's exclusive bystander pogs, as well as anybody else who plays and doesn't win. They will also receive tarot cards or legacy cards. So we have virtual and in-person battle royals. Those start on Thursday. Friday is the Scott Porter Invitational Modern Age 400-point 3-versus-3 team constructed Ultra Highlander tournament. Whoo! I didn't think
you
I was
got it all out in
that.
one breath.
but I did. And of course, like you said, you can go to HeroClixForHuntingtons.com to see the breakdown of all of these events, or you can go to Rock, the Rock page on Facebook. You can find listings of all of these events there. It's an incredible tournament. A lot of people come to win. But a lot of people come to just have a great time and bring some really fun themes and just a blast. So Saturday is a massive day for us. Saturday, the 4th, you're going to have the Scott Porter vs. the World Sealed Tournament. And I'm so proud to announce that Deadpool Weapon X, the brand new set that's coming out all the way in June, we are going to be utilizing for that sealed event. And yes, it's called Scott Porter vs. the World because I do play in it, and it's gonna be awesome. So we have Deadpool Weapon X as well as Next Phase. Everybody is guaranteed to get one booster of Deadpool Weapon X to play with, as well as some Next Phase. And we all know there's a bunch of Kevins out there, so who knows? Maybe we'll have some down in Huntsville. And then later that evening at 7:30, we're gonna have the HeroClix Hall of Fame inductions, and then after that, we're gonna have the end of our auction. I forgot to say, the auction also opens up on Wednesday. So our incredible auction, which I'll talk about later, it's going to run this year from Wednesday night. It's going to open up at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Everybody can start taking a look and start putting some initial bids or pin their favorite things, start bidding on them. And the auction will end on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, except for the overtime. There's always overtime, and I can't wait to talk about the auction later. Sunday brings us the Rock Silver Age Constructed World Championships. That has cash prizes, huge trophies, bragging rights, and also a ton of really, really great swag. So the Battle Royals, they last all weekend long from Thursday through Sunday, actually. So you can drop in any of those days when Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, play virtual Battle Royals or in-person Battle Royals. And our auction is completely virtual and available to people world around. So very, very cool. So excited for all these events and can't wait for people to play them.
Fantastic. Now, for people who want to participate in these events, where should they go to register and get involved?
Right. So if they go to HeroClixForHuntingtons.com, we have a store link. When you go into the store, you can purchase your entries into these tournaments, the Battle Royals. If you want to play a virtual Battle Royal, there is a listing for virtual Battle Royals there. And if you want to get involved in the auction, you're going to want to download an app called Auxit. And we run through that through the HeroClix Cafe tab within the Auxit app. And it is an awesome app. They are great partners for this thing. We have the capability this year to take on a much larger load, a lot more items. We're going to have over 250 items this year, and it's capable of carrying our entire community at this point. So very excited about all of that. But yeah, HeroClixForHuntingtons.com to get signed up for things. We have an auction page. We have our schedule listed. We have a link to our storefront. And you can also buy stuff like this T-shirt here, which is pretty cool through our storefront. And like you said, it also has venues, the address there, and places to stay nearby. It's all on HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. And if you have any questions outside of the realm of that, you can get a hold of Howard Brock, or you can get a hold of me at scottporterheroclix@gmail.com.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're talking about lots of cool things. We're talking about the auction, we're talking about prizes, we're talking about, this, that, and the other thing. Do you think it's time to start doing what we love to do every single year and start showing off a few things that people can expect when they go into it this year? What do you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. So tell me about what we have going on in terms of what people can expect for the prizing and everything along those lines. Where do you want to get us going and start whetting everyone's appetite to get them excited for this fantastic event?
Well, before we jump into the total prizing for each of the tournaments, as well as our auction, the items that are up for bid, I kind of wanted to talk about one thing that we think is most important of all, and that is fellowship. And anybody that has been a part of this community for a long time understands that fellowship is at the core of the HeroClix community. Fellowship is not about showing up with the team that can crush all your opponents and mercilessly destroying them. Fellowship is about people who really truly carry the spirit of this game, of this community, that has such a large heart and brings so much joy to so many people. And we count that as a major, major thing in our particular event weekend. So I'm going to list a bunch of prizing here for these tournaments, but understand that the fellowship prizes they are super, super big. I mean, I'm talking factory sets, retail chase boosters, all of the swag you could ever want. But they also get, our weekend long fellowship gets one of our unique prizes that nobody else offers, and that is our Become a SwitchClicks prize. And the weekend long fellowship winner, it goes to one person who is attending the event in person, will win a prize that is unlike any other, where they can build themselves and they can put themselves into the game, which is really, really cool. So, in the past, we've had a bunch of people win. You can see them up on screen now as they are rotating through. You see Brad Broyles petting a cat. You see Tracy Brock holding PJ Boland's cat. Yeah, you see Ben. You see the King of the North out there in his blue cape. And these sculpts are one of a kind, and they are just incredible. And that's just one of the things that the fellowship winner, the overall fellowship winner, wins for the entire weekend. But on top of that, we have our Scott Porter Invitational Teams Tournament. Mm-hmm. The fellowship winner, the team that wins fellowship in that event, gets another one of our exclusive prizes, and that is to design a legacy card. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. But on top of getting factory sets, like I said, all the chases, all of these things that you could ever possibly want swag-wise, they are also getting a very unique prize that is specific to our event. And, then that brings us to, our sealed tournament fellowship winner. They are going to get something very, very unique from Deadpool Weapon X. So there are just so many things that if you come and you play to the spirit of the game and you don't necessarily play to win, you can actually be the biggest winner of all. And that's just what we like to do here. We like to focus on community because, as you heard Jameson say, this is the quintessential family disease. And in the Huntington's disease community, we say family is everything. Mm-hmm. And we think in the HeroClix community, the translation of that is fellowship. Family is thing. Fellowship is everything. So for us, we want to make sure that we stack the deck for the fellowship winners. But that, I think, takes us in more in the direction of what are the prizes for our big events, because these events have grown and grown and grown over the year. And this year we expect our biggest turnout ever. And I'm so excited to get into all of these things.
Absolutely. So sounds good to me. So let's talk about some of these, especially cool prizes that you want to feature here. I mean, it's one of those things where we have another guest waiting in the wings for us, which I think, do you want to bring him in now?
Actually, you know what? Let's make the audience wait just a second longer.
Just a little longer. Okay.
We're gonna go into the prizing for our teams tournaments, the Scott Porter Invitational 400-point Modern Ultra Highlander 3v3 tournament here, and I just kind of wanted to tell everybody, just so they have an idea of what the prizing is for this event. Listen, if you place in the top 16 teams, you're getting a Warp World Phoenix, a Batman Catwoman figure, a Hanna-Barbera Joker, a Thor Gwen, Spider-Hulk, Ashley Barton, a Death Metal Wonder Woman, a Punchline, a Watcher, and Battle Armor. You will get the 2023 winning bystander token that was designed by last year's winners of the Scott Porter Invitational. And you also get rock dice. If you're in the top 8, you get all of that. On top of that, you will get our new map variant that we have made specifically for HeroClix for Huntington's. Every year, I design a map for the event. You'll get that. You'll get Merman Batman. You'll get a Scott Porter HeroClix for Huntington's figure, a Scott Porter Power Bomb limited edition figure, Superman with rainbow hands, an Iceman, Old King Thor from Adepticon this year, Hawkeye and Hawkeye, King Arthur Camelot 3000 AD, Space Ghost and Harley Quinn, and a Phoenix Sentinel Colossal. I mean, you get all of that if you place in the top 8. The top 4 also get all of that, plus a Venom God of Symbiotes. Second place gets everybody on the team will get a retail chase booster of next phase. And then the winners get a really cool couple of options. The winners of this will all get a next phase factory set, so guaranteed Kevin. And then they'll also get to pick between designing a legacy, I mean, not designing a legacy card, designing a bystander that is tournament legal upon next year's tournament, or designing a map, which will also be tournament legal upon appearing in the 2025 HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend. On top of that, you also get a very, very large Scott Porter trophy, which I'm sure nobody really wants, but we made them anyway. It's me. It's the same sculpt as the Scott Porter figure. But anyway, cool. I know I rambled on and on, but I hope the people that are watching right now are like, whoa, oh my gosh, the prizing. That's all due to WizKids giving us this amazing stuff. But last year's winners of our bystander token were people that the community are very familiar with. And that is Lucas Van Hollen, Scott Crampton, and today's guest, the kilted Clicksman himself, PJ Bolin. PJ, come on in, buddy.
Hello.
Hello, PJ. Thanks so much for joining us and for hanging out with us behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's been a blast.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Man. So you've had the pleasure of attending these events in the past, and obviously the pleasure of being one of these winners. So I'm very much excited to share some of the coolness that we have as a preview for everyone in the chat. But how about you and Scott chat about how this whole thing works out and how it comes about, since you had the behind the scenes knowledge of what's going on here?
Yeah, so last year, PJ, you guys won. You won the event. You came with a team that was built to destroy. You did not play for Fellowship, am I right?
That is correct. We did not play for Fellowship there.
Yeah, see, PJ won Fellowship in the virtual event, our very first HeroClix for Huntington's. PJ was one of our winners of Fellowship, so he's been there, done that. He came to win this year.
That's right.
There you go.
And when they did, and you chose to either design a map or design a bystander. What did you choose to do?
We went with the design of bystander. We actually talked to the second place team beforehand and kind of got their input on what they wanted to do, and it was very clear. They wanted to make the map. We wanted the bystander. It was easy.
Oh, that's fantastic. It worked out that way.
I'm glad, man. And see, in the spirit of community, you guys are even talking it out when you win the tournament.
Yep.
What a cool, what a cool homage to the Fellowship stuff that we've been talking about already. But so when you went to design a bystander and you have three guys with the egos the size of you and Lucas and Scott.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that. No, not going there.
I'm kidding. There's
two fair.
There's two egos in there, and one very kind guest who we have on today. So
well said. Well said.
How did you go about designing this thing? I mean, you've got a team designing. We were nervous last year because this was the first time the Scott Porter Invitational was a team event, and we were like, now we have this one prize that a team is going to have to work on together. Can they do it? What was the process like for you guys?
So the process is actually probably what a lot of people expected. For us, it was Lucas messaging everybody saying, guys, we really need to work on this. And then me and Scott ignoring him completely for months. Eventually Lucas and I worked on it a bunch, and then eventually Crampton came in and was like, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Great. So what did you decide to do? I mean, we've got the image here. You want to go ahead and show the community what you guys came up with?
Okay,
yeah.
Here it comes. Check it out, everyone. Woohoo!
I can't wait.
So we decided to go the route of just countering Scott Porter. We thought that would be a lot of fun.
Okay. So here we have on screen Lucas, PJ, and Scott. Okay. What are the powers that you guys are exhibiting? I mean, Scott's very simple, right? It's like fire. What is this? Is this void power? Like, what is this?
It's like it's lightning. It's more lightning. Like Thor. Yeah, and then I'm ice. And then
see, ice is my favorite.
Yeah,
nice.
I knew I liked you for a reason, PJ.
Love it.
Iceman's my all-time favorite character, so the ice power there is so cool. So you guys specifically set out to design to nerf the Scott Porter figure.
Correct. We went into this with one actual objective. We want this to be something that's super desirable because it means more people want it, which means more money for charity. So that was the main goal. Dude,
well, it is much appreciated, and I think you accomplished the goal. let's read it real quick. You've got 2 movement sidestep, you've got 9 attack, 17 with defense, and you've got 3 damage there. I can only imagine is because of there's 3 of you. Is that right?
Correct.
3 fists at once. Great.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
None of us would do 3 damage by ourselves.
But you have a trait here, and it's called playing competitively, which that's the podcast theme, right? For critical clicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without being so blunt.
Yes. You might as well be playing with yourself. Lucas, PJ, and Scott's adjacent-friendly characters' powers have protected Pulse Wave. I see. So this is aimed squarely at the Power Bomb version. Is that what we're going for here?
Correct. Yeah.
How much of an impact has the Scott Porter Power Bomb figure had out there?
So at Adepticon, of the 42, I don't remember the exact number, 40 something players, I think there were only like 3 teams that didn't have it, and 2 of those were just playing 1 300-point piece.
Oh.
So it was on the vast majority of teams.
Wow. So when you say this is set out to take a bite out of one of the most played pieces, you're not lying. That is really, really cool. So this is a very HeroClix for Huntington specific prize. I don't think you have the opportunity to design a bystander token anywhere else, as far as I know. And like I said, after our event, this bystander will become tournament legal. And PJ, you're going to be in the game, as they say.
I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, man. I love this design, and I love the heart you guys put into it, and I love the fact that you're looking at, hey, how can we make this really something that people want to play with, but also really has a fun bent to it. And I love the keywords as well. Podcaster being a keyword is just amazing to me. And then mystical and warrior. So who's the podcaster, who's the mystical, and who's the warrior?
Yeah.
So the podcaster was Scott, the mystical was Lucas, and I was the warrior.
Nice. I love it. You consider yourself, what are you? Are you a Viking, Celtic warrior? What is this? What's going on?
Viking, yeah.
I love it. The beard gave it away.
Exactly.
So I have a question while I'm here. Kilted Clicksman, where did this come from?
I just started wearing a kilt. My wife convinced me to buy a Utilikilt at Gen Con one year, and they're super comfortable. So I actually just started wearing them to all of my HeroClix events, and the name just kind of crept up. I think Crampton actually said it first.
Oh, Crampton.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we made the mistake of having him on this stream last year, and I got to tell you, PJ, we're so glad that you are here this year.
It's
You
an
really
absolute
upgraded.
delight. It is lovely, truly.
Before we let you go, I just wanted to ask, can you give a little preview of what you might be running this year in the event?
So if, unfortunately, I'm not able to make it, but I do have a team built. I had a work thing come up. It's the worst. It came up, and I just can't get away from it.
It's all good. I'll see you online. Some Battle Royals.
I am going to play some online VRs.
Oh, fantastic.
That is going to happen. But I had a team built and ready to go. I was going to play 400 points for the team event of the Don't Die pieces. So like Haha Joker, Lockjaw, just as much point denial as I could. That's what I was aiming for.
Oof. Oh
yeah.
Don't Die is I'm glad you're not coming if that's what you were bringing with you.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
that's
I'm
fair.
kidding. I'm
No,
gonna miss
that's fair.
you. I'm gonna miss all the hugs. I'm gonna miss all the laughs. But we see you online. I mean, that's the great thing about what we're trying to do here is even if you can't make it in person, you can still make an impact by joining us online. So I'm gonna hold you to it.
I will be there.
All right, brother.
Thank
you so much for joining us, man. Thank you so much for premiering this piece. It's an awesome design. I can't wait for people to get their hands on it. And there are so many different ways for players to do that. Almost everybody that comes to the event is going to have a shot. You can win this bystander at Battle Royals. You can win it in online Battle Royals. You can bid on signed copies of it in the auction. You can win it in any of the tournaments that have the Scott Porter name on them, as well as the Tracy Brock Memorial. So they are everywhere, literally everywhere. So most people should be walking out of the event with one of these bystanders, and we'll probably have some left over and find a different way to get them out to the HeroClix gaming community. So a lot of people are going to be having your piece and the ability to play with it.
I'm really looking forward to it. If anybody gets one there and you want to reach out to me to ship it to me to get it signed, Lucas and Scott will be there. If you want to ship it to me, you don't have to pay me for shipping. I'll sign it and ship it back to you.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
We'll get that handled.
Yeah.
We'll get as many signed as they want to have signed. Or if you want to do like last year and have Scott Porter sign over all of our faces, I'm sure he would do that.
That does happen sometimes. Well, thank you so much, PJ.
Yes.
It was
Thanks,
great
guys.
to see you, man. All right.
Thanks
Appreciate
so
it.
much for joining us.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a good look at that bystander. Let's talk about what else people can expect when they attend this event. Again, that's going from May 1st through May 5th for those of you who are joining us a little bit later after we made that first announcement. So what else can people anticipate and get to see while they're there type of situation?
Yeah, that was the prizing for the tournament that we have on Friday, the Scott Porter Invitational Teams Tournament. On Saturday, we'll move into Saturday now, we have the Scott Porter vs. the World Super Duper pre-release sealed tournament. And like I said earlier, we are using the unreleased Deadpool Weapon X HeroClix set. It won't even be released for pre-release tournaments until June 12th. It won't be released to your local gaming stores until June 24th. This is May 4th. We are playing with this set over a month ahead of the pre-releases. So if you want to be one of the first people in the world to get your hands on and play with Deadpool Weapon X, which is the series I just unboxed this past week, you come down to Huntsville and you play with it on May 4th. Like I said with that event, we are doing a 1-in-1 Deadpool Weapon X and Disney Next Phase. Those are going to be the boxes that we're going to be using. Couple of really cool things about our sealed tournament. Different ways to make money for charity besides just your entry. You have the opportunity to mulligan. If you open up your boosters and you see that you're not quite happy, or you just want another chance to pick up another booster, you can mulligan up to 2 times, which is you pay another entry fee, you get another 2 boosters until you get the team that you want or that you feel comfortable playing with. Also, everybody has the opportunity to buy up to 5 charity theme probability controls. So pay $5, you get 5 free probability controls to use in each and every one of your matches. And it's a fun way to get yourself some insurance while you're playing the game, but also raise a bunch of extra money to go to HDSA. And every cent of those theme props, every cent of the entry fee for this event, all goes to HDSA. Every single dollar of your entry fee and everything. WizKids is supplying all of the product for this entire sealed tournament, which I can't say enough. Their generosity is just massive. It is so cool. So that's a little bit about the Scott Porter versus the World event. But you're going to want a mulligan because the prizing on this one is also insane. It's a lot of the same pricing that I mentioned earlier. If you're in the top 16, you get the Lucas, PJ, and Scott bystander. You get Thor Gwen. You get the Hanna-Barbera Joker, Captain America riding the Pegasus, which is one of my favorite limited edition figures of the past few years. You got Hawkeye and Hawkeye, the King Arthur from Adepticon, the Watcher in battle armor, and a set of rock dice. If you're in the top 8, you can add our new HeroClix for Huntington's 2024 event map. You can also add Venom God of Symbiotes figure. You can also add Superman with rainbow hands, and one each of the Scott Porter HeroClix for Huntington's limited edition figure and the Power Bomb figure. If you're in the top 4, everybody in the top 4 gets a next phase retail chase booster, which is huge. You also get a new Iceman figure, which they just released at Adepticon, and I know not a lot of people have their hands on yet, as well as Old King Thor, which is the same thing as Iceman, Phoenix Sentinel Colossal, and a Merman Batman, and Ares and SPDR for sale set. The pricing is out of this world. But if you are in the top 2, if you win, you get a entire brick of Deadpool Weapon X. A sealed brick of Deadpool Weapon X if you win that tournament. And if you get second place, you get a next phase booster brick. So there are a lot of great things. And if you win, again, you get a Scott Porter trophy. It's a giant 3D printed version of the Scott Porter HeroClix holding up
I love it.
a booster brick. So hopefully that's enough for people to want to come down and play in this event. It raises a ton of money for the HDSA, and it's just so cool. So I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments saying this is the first year they're going to attend. I've had people reaching out to me from Oregon, from Michigan, from North Dakota, from California, saying that they're going to make the trek out for the first time this year. Couldn't be a better year for you guys to make it. I mean, these tournaments are insane.
Fantastic. And again, remember that you literally, the unboxing has just been going on this week. So if you want to get a peek at what Scott is talking about, when we're done here on this live stream, all you need to do is hang on this channel and go and check out the playlist for this particular set. So just a little heads up on that one. All right. So, God, I'm sorry, but that really was a cool set. The Deadpool one. Very nice. Very lovely. Seriously, go and watch those videos. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. So along with that, we have all these prizes, but there's also the auction that's going on, right?
Yes.
You said that starts the first in the evening at 10 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yep. 10 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central. The auction will go live. Currently, like I said, we have over 240 items to bid on in our auction. And then it's a really fun thing when the auction closes. The auction will close at 9 p.m. Will be the final hour, and then it'll close at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. But that's final
on Saturday,
hour,
right?
That's on Saturday.
That's on
Saturday, May 4th. But that final hour will also be streaming a little bit from live streaming from the event, as you know that the timer starts to tick down and all these items are getting like bid on. Last year, we had a situation where we hit the end of the auction and everything kind of started to total out very quickly and people wanted to continue to bid. Normally what Auxit has something called overtime, and we set our overtime clock at a minute. So once we hit the end of the auction, right? Once we hit 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, the auction will begin to end. It'll give a 1-minute countdown for all of the items. And if no items have any other bids, it'll close them out and the winning bid takes it home. However, if somebody chooses to bid again in overtime, some of these items can go as long as 15 to 18 to 20 minutes later. 2 years ago, we had the Become a HeroClix auction prize, which I mentioned earlier. You know, we showed all those really cool versions of the Become a HeroClix. We saw PJ on one. It was very, very cool. PJ's hat on one, I mean. But what happened was 2 years ago, that auction continued 19 minutes longer than when the auction closed, because Become a HeroClix was bidding boom, 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 and it would start to count down and we'd be like, oh, hold on, is the King of the North going to win this? We had someone in the room bidding on it and they were taking their time. They're like, okay, can I really spend another $50 on this? Okay, yes, I can. And they'd click it. And that would start the countdown clock at a minute all over again. And so that auction ran almost a half hour longer than you know, the set time. So I'm going to go through a lot of the items that we have in our auction here in a moment. Know that this past year, Auxit brought on some new partners. They have a couple of new staff members, and they are set for us. They are ready. Last year, things started to tick off. They were doing a verification process that kind of kept the overtime thing from working completely properly. 2 years ago, it completely worked. This year, they have rebuilt the app from the inside out, and they are doing tests right now of 1,000 items with 1,000 bidders all at once, which we won't hit those numbers, but it's good to know that they can handle that. So I can't wait. And the coolest thing about the auction is that people all around the world can bid and can win. So before we get into the prizes, when you win, shipping is on you. It's part of your charitable donation, and that includes for people who are international. And one thing Auxit wanted me to share was last year, a lot of people directly after the auction were saying, hey, I'm not getting my notification. I didn't get an email verifying that I won. A lot of those winners are outside of the country. And what Oxit has to do to make the exception for us for this event so that we can work this thing worldwide is they have to figure out shipping manually, which takes them a little bit longer. Easier to figure out shipping domestically, and it kind of does that itself. It has a bot that's built in to calculate shipping and boom, 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 or we just have to have it listed with the item. International costs a little bit more. Right. So when you win internationally, just know it might take just a little bit of time, but you will get confirmation of your victory soon after the auction. So I just wanted to let everybody know before we jumped into the prizing that they're going to be bidding on how the things are going to work on the backside. And also, as Jameson said earlier, for our tournament entry fees, for the battle royals, for all the money that you're doing, including the auction items that you're bidding on, you can go to the HDSA form site for your tax acknowledgement letter, and you can type in the amount that you spent on these items that you won. They consider the money that you spend on these items in our auction as a gift to them, and they will get you tax acknowledgement. So on the other side, you can use that for whatever deduction that you need to on your taxes. So make sure you do, like Jameson said, go fill out the form site this year. They are ready. They are built. They are completely ready to go, and they want to make sure that they acknowledge everybody's out there's generosity and their support. So
that's fantastic. And again, if you go to that pinned chat comment, I have the 2 links sitting there waiting for you. You have the HeroClix for Huntington's link that is ready to go. You also have the HDSA link. So they're both there for you. Start there, and you can start filtering through and finding everything you need between the form and registration, et cetera, et cetera. Those links are very important. They will also be in the description of this video afterwards and the first pinned comment in the video when we're done. Just in case you came in a little later and you missed that spiel, I'm going to keep saying it again and again. I'm also just trying to torture everyone and prolong the getting to see the prizes and everything just because I can. No, I'm totally kidding. Yeah. All right.
Let's not keep them.
Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. I'm here for it.
Let's jump in.
Yes, please. Let's do.
But I do want to say a couple of things we don't have images for, and then we're going to start spoiling some stuff for you guys. We're going to be spoiling in this next section upcoming convention exclusives that people have not seen yet. We're going to be spoiling in this section something else very cool that we just found out last minute 2 days ago is going to be coming to our event that we will physically have at our event. So we're going to be spoiling a couple really cool things here and showing you guys some figures and some dials here shortly. Our auction is insane. It's where we make most of the money for our donation to HDSA, and the only reason that is possible is because WizKids empties out the vault for us. But it's not just WizKids, it is part of the player base. I mean, I have so many players contacting me and saying, hey, like JSaul, hey man, I've got these 2 really rare figures and I want to put them in your auction, and they're giving items to us to put into the auction, and I just want to make sure that the community knows how much I appreciate all of that stuff. We have people like Jeremiah Peterson, who does these one of a kind designed dice trays, and they're the coolest things. I bid on it every year, and every year I lose.
Get outbid.
So we have these one of a kind prizes like this Jeremiah Peterson designed dice tray. That's in our auction this year. We have these special limited, HeroClix for Huntington's tumblers or coffee mugs that will be in the auction. You can't buy those anywhere else. You can only win them when you bid on them in the auction. I am there. Anything you win in the auction, as long as you let me know by the end of the day on Sunday the 5th, I can sign anything for you before we ship it out on Monday. And that we do. Howard and I stay up all night and we pack everything for people who win in the auction or win stuff from playing online battle royales. We pack it ourselves overnight, Sunday into Monday, and then get it all shipped out that week. So we bust our butts to make sure that you guys get this stuff as quickly as possible. So in our auction, you have some very unique prizing. You have our brand new map that we're going to have this year. I design a map every single year for HeroClix for Huntington's. You're going to have a chance to win both the variant that you can win in our tournaments, as well as the purple border non-event variant that you'll be able to purchase on our website. But you can get a signed copy of it here in the auction. You have factory sets of sets. We have, let me see here. We have 2 Wheels of Vengeance factory sets in our auction, 1 Disney Next Phase factory set in our auction, 2 Notorious factory sets in our auction, a Deadpool Weapon X factory set that you can bid on before the set even comes out to win, to be shipped upon the pre-release happening for Deadpool and Weapon X. I want to be clear on that.
Yeah.
We also, and this is crazy, I did not expect WizKids to do this. They gave us factory sets for the next 2 sets beyond Deadpool Weapon X. So they've announced one of them, Masters of Time, and you can bid to win a sealed factory set of Masters of Time this far out in advance to be sent, as soon as they get it in their offices, actually. And then we have a set of the so far as yet unannounced and unnamed HeroClix set that happens after Masters of Time, and you'll be able to bid on that as well. We're going to get into some other unreleased stuff here in a moment, but rest assured, I will be every step of the way making sure you get these unreleased items as quickly as possible. I will be on a text thread with Ryan Opalk, who is our new community manager at WizKids. He's doing a fantastic job, and Ryan and myself and the winners will be on an email chain, and we'll keep you updated every single month on when things are coming in, every single week on when things are coming in, and we'll get them out to those winners so that they get them earlier than anybody else, because that's the fun of this unreleased stuff, right? Is being one of the first to have any of this stuff. So those are the factory sets. On top of that, all of these convention exclusives we have, we just have so much super cool stuff, including Scott Porter figure, the Power Bomb, the HeroClix for Huntington's versions, which you can bid on for me to sign in this auction. There's just a ton of stuff. But now that we've gone through the factory sets, we've gone through some of the other stuff, we do have 2 sets of this summer's convention exclusives available to bid on in our auction to be received before they are all in the hands of everybody out there going into the con season. As soon as WizKids has them stateside, they will send you the entire set. And like I said, I'll be on an email chain to make sure that you get these guys super early. You get them ahead of time. So you will get a set of all, I believe it's 18 convention exclusives that WizKids will be releasing at various conventions throughout the course of this summer and into the fall. And for the HeroClix community, I think we have 7 of them.
Yes,
is that right, V?
We do. We have 7 of them. So you tell me who we want to have fun revealing and previewing for this fantastic group, and I will bring up these lovely images as we go along.
Yeah, here we go. We're going to start, I believe, with the Brood.
Here we go.
Let's go with the Brood.
This is such a freaking cool looking sculpt. I'm sorry. The mini painter in me is just like, give me.
I know. It is so impossibly cool.
Yeah.
And I am trying to get this loaded up. They sent me, I got locked out of my Zoom file. I've got to open it.
No.
But everybody out there, take a look at this. And V, do you want to read off what they might have on the card there for the community?
Let me see here if I can read this. Yes, you know what? Actually, let me have some fun here. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger and be fully obnoxious. Here we go, everyone. So I'm really going to give you the sneak preview here. All right, so we have Brood here, which, again, I am just in love with this sculpt. That is so freaking cool. So it's a Sleazoids. If Brood is adjacent to a character with the Brood keyword, when it rolls for a single D6 increase the result by +1 willpower. When Brood uses it and succeeds, you may generate a Brood bystander. Yeah.
Oh man, they're just duplicating. They're just flying all over the place,
and
this is incredible.
Too. Yeah.
And then you see on the back of the card there, community, you've got another trait called Infectious Feeding. Unique modifier. Friendly characters with the Brood keyword modify attack by +1 for each friendly character with the Brood keyword adjacent to them. And we've seen that a lot. We've seen this kind of gang tackle kind of thought or power structure. We've seen it with the Morlocks before in HeroClix way back in the day. So there is your first look at one of the summer convention exclusives that you can bid to win before anybody else this summer. It's so cool.
It's fantastic.
I think the next one we're going to move on to is one of my all-time favorite characters. He didn't start out that way. I was always an Alex Summers fan, but after I voiced Cyclops in the X-Men anime show and have voiced him since in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Cyclops, I've done a lot of research on him, has become a kind of like a sleeper favorite of mine.
There you go.
So let's take a look at Cyclops here, everybody.
Okay.
Another convention exclusive for this summer. You've got Cyclops, Champions, Starjammers, Utopia, X Factor, X-Men, Marksman, and Pilot keywords. He's got a trait, Pure Concussive Force Blast. When Cyclops knocks back an opposing character, that character is knocked back 6 squares instead. And any knockback damage they are dealt is increased by +1. Yeah. When Cyclops opens the full optic blast up, when he turns that volume to 11, when he spinal taps you, you're flying across the map. Is incredible. And I love that he's got some improved targeting as well. He's got running shot, a whole bunch of stuff. On the back, you've got another trait, Put the Word Out. The X-Men are back. Oh, I love it. I can hear him saying it. It's so cool. Leadership, Willpower. Adjacent friendly characters with the X-Men keyword modify their attack by +1. And then I love this special attack power because Zark is the name of it. And I'm just like, I was just reading my kids some older issues of Marvel. And man,
cool.
the power bubbles, the kapows and the schlock and the
that
schnick.
onomatopoeia, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so Zark is not something I'd ever attributed to Cyclops, but the fact that it's on this card now, that's what I'm going to think every time. Power action. And give Cyclops a visor token. At the beginning of your turn, if Cyclops has a visor token, you may remove 1. If you do, choose a direct line away from Cyclops, destroy all blocking terrain and terrain markers within range along that direct line, then make a ranged attack targeting all characters within range along that direct line, regardless of line of fire. Instead of normal damage, hit characters are dealt 4 damage. He's got it for 4 clicks with an 11 attack going up to a 12 attack on his last click, and has probability control to make sure that this optic blast is just landing. Dang. This figure is busted. I absolutely love it. And it's another one of the convention exclusives that'll be coming out this summer from WizKids to you all that you can bid to win in our auction. This piece is awesome.
Ridiculous.
You've heard of Cyclops being able to level mountains with his optic blast. This piece is giving you mountain leveling Scott Summers, and I'm so stoked for it. I hope everybody out there in the chat is just like, woo, loving it.
Yeah.
I see people talk about X-Men 97. Yeah, it's so good out there, and I love this. Is a very strong time for X-Men. This piece,
really is.
Oof,
that's
so good.
That's nice. That's nice.
Let's switch gears here.
Sure.
And let's talk about somebody from the what do they call them? The distinguished competition. Let's look at Calabac here.
Of course.
Calabac, yes. Has the Apocalypse keyword, the New Gods keyword, the Superman Revenge Squad keyword, Brute, Cosmic, Deity, and Warrior keywords. Comes in at 90 points or 45. Apocalypse demands my service. Once per attack, when a friendly character with the Apocalypse keyword at a greater point value than Calabac will be hit by an opponent's attack. If Calabac isn't a target of that attack, you may place him adjacent to that character. Calabac becomes the hit target of that attack instead. So basically masterminding onto himself, going, no, I'm the shield. I'm the shield. New Gods trait, Leadership and Mastermind, and a special attack power, Beta Club Blast, Knockback, Penetrating Psychic Blast. When Calabac knocks back an opposing character, knockback damage dealt to that character is penetrating. Knockback damage that is penetrating. There's a lot of knockback in these convention exclusives, and I am here for it. You want to feel that power when you get something at a convention. You want to know that the thing you just waited in line, the thing you traveled for, is worth it. The same thing with our auction. You want to know these things that you're bidding on are worth it. And I got to tell you, man, these exclusives so far are definitely worth it. And I know the community's out there already screenshotting this.
Yeah.
They're running to HC Realms. They're posting it. And that's what we want. We want this hype to happen. You know, when we started this event, my idea was, hey, there's nothing happening this early in the year for HeroClix. May is Huntington's Disease Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kickstart the summer. Let's get this community some great stuff early. Get them stoked for the summer season, all the way into the World Championships happening in September. Let's be the kickoff event. Now we are actually second. Adepticon is now like this really cool beginning starting point. And so now we're kind of the snowball rolling downhill. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we want to raise the hype for this game. It's a thing where we're raising money for a great cause, but I also want the gaming community to be so hyped for all the awesome stuff that's coming. And it's so cool to be now in this kind of hinge position where now we're getting all the cool stuff that people might have missed out on at Adepticon, plus the stuff that people can look forward to, and they can get it all in this HeroClix for Huntington's weekend. So cool. Let's move on to Kanto next.
Sounds good to me. Let's check out Kanto.
Not the region in Pokemon. This is let's stay DC here,
guys.
Kanto, Apocalypse, New Gods, Assassin, Brute, Cosmic, Deity, Past, and Warrior. Apocalypse demands my service. We just saw that on Calabac, so I won't go through it again because it's the exact same, right? So you've got him jumping in, but we're seeing this Apocalypse theme. Now, keep in mind, we're only showing you 7 of these sculpts for I think the 18, I believe, that we have coming out this summer from WizKids. So I'm always, the unboxings, I'm trying to figure out clues. What else might be coming?
Yeah.
I see this Apocalypse theme, and I'm going, okay.
Little breadcrumbs.
More?
Yeah, we're getting breadcrumbs.
We're gonna get some granny goodness. What's happening here? We also have the target, which is a trait. At the beginning of the game, for all friendly characters with this trait, give a target token to an opposing character. For all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the assassin keyword KOs an opposing character with a target token, score 25 victory points. We have seen this before, and I love that now we have con exclusives, con LEs that are going to also interact with pieces from sets from both brands, from Marvel, from DC. Like, all of it is working together very synergistically. Super, super cool. I can't wait to get this guy in my collection. We got 2 more for you out there, and then we have a really cool announcement on the other side, something I didn't even know was coming until 2 days ago.
2 days ago, I was gonna say that email came through. I was like, oh.
I know it was Ryan is doing a
He's
banger
doing a great job.
And he sent me some really cool stuff this week.
Let's
look at the Parademon next, and you want
Parademon?
Parademon, okay.
Here, Parademon. There we go. Ta-da!
We've got the Parademon, Apocalypse demands my service, just like with Kanto and Calabac, but here you have Expendable Goon, which is its second trait. Waves of War. When Parademon is KO'd by an opposing character after resolutions, you may roll a d6. On a roll of 1 to 3, heal a friendly character with the Apocalypse keyword 1 click. And since they're all masterminding onto each other, you're really able to choose where you want this damage to go, who you want on what click or the other. On a roll of 4 to 6, generate a character with an Expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character. I think these figures are so cool, and they have so much play with figures in sets past, with Expendable Goon or with the Assassin trait. This is really, really cool stuff, and I hope people are digging it out there. I see Kevin Hollis. What an attack power. Oh my gosh, this is so great. People are really, really enjoying this.
Yes,
it seems.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then...
Do you want to take a look at Mantis?
Yeah. Oh, I skipped Mantis. I was just so excited about
it's totally
this
cool.
Apocalypse
I got you.
theme.
Here we go.
You know what? Yeah. Let's jump into Mantis again. Apocalypse. Oh, this is such. I don't know if these are coming individually. I got to tell you guys. A lot of you think I know what's coming when I'm doing this stuff. I don't know what is coming. I know the number.
Yeah.
I don't know what the LEs are. So I'm like, are these packaged together? Are they broken out? Are they separately?
I can vouch for this. I can vouch for this 100%. I have been on the other side before he gets these. No clue. None until it happens. It's fantastic.
So I'm just winging it here, but here we go. Energy Absorption is the second trait on Mantis, who has Apocalypse, New Gods, Secret Society of Supervillains, Brute, Cosmic, Deity, and Warrior keywords. Range of 6, comes in at 40 points. Mantis starts the game on click number 4. Steel Energy, but with close or ranged attacks. When Mantis uses it, he may heal past his starting line. So here we have a vampire dial. We've seen these a lot lately, and this one is pretty rad. You know, I just did a Hellcow Legacy card in the unboxing for Deadpool Weapon X, and people got so excited. They were immediately like, "Is this the best vampire dial in the game?" I'm looking at this guy. Pretty wicked as well. He also has my own boom tube, which I love this stuff. Phasing teleport. Phasing teleport is free, but only to move up to 3 squares. So like a free, like kind of 3 square phasing teleporting sidestep. I mean, that he can get all over the place. I do love the Steel Energy stuff for this particular guy. I mean, you see very quickly defense pops up to a 19 with impervious. Got some flurry there. So really, really cool. And I think the last figure we have to show you all is was the big bad, I think, of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Everybody wanted the Snyder cut. Here we have Steppenwolf, Apocalypse, New Gods, Brute, Cosmic, Deity, Warrior. Again, with the Apocalypse Demands My Service trait, which is the same on all of them. Has the New Gods trait, which we saw on Calabac. Grants him leadership and mastermind, and then a special attack power that you see pop up 3 times on the dial here. Blades, claws, fangs. It's called Electro Axe. When Steppenwolf uses it, increase the damage dealt by +1 for each adjacent friendly character with Parademon in their name. So there you go. These are the SummerCon exclusives that we are able to spoil for you here today. I love that WizKids allows us to do this as a part of our charity event. You know, I think my relationship with them over the years doing all these unboxings, it was just an idea that I started to spitball. And when they say for our auction, you know what? Let's go big. Let's give you a bunch of unreleased stuff that people can bid on to win and receive early, receive before anybody else. Where we started was with the convention exclusives 3 years ago. You know, we got Master Mold out to people before they had gotten it anywhere else, and figures like that. You know, Baby Thanos and Ghost Rider, we were able to get that figure out to people before anybody else had their hands on it. And that's going to be the same this year. You're going to get a set of every convention exclusive that WizKids is releasing this year. There's 2 sets to bid on in the auction. So make sure you bid often, you bid early, you make sure that you favorite this particular item, because I'm sure this is one of the ones that's going to go into overtime. People are going to keep bidding. And like I said, on the other side of the event, I'll get your email, Scott Porter HeroClix at gmail.com, as well as Ryan. We'll all be on a text thread together. WizKids will be fully transparent when all of this stuff is shipping from overseas. When they receive it in their offices, they'll pack it up with a pretty bow and send it to you right away. We'll keep track of when we're getting these in, and we'll get them out to you. If it's a drip feed, because they don't have all of the ones that are meant for Memphis yet, we'll get you all of the ones that they have in their offices now. So as these conventions are coming up, as we're getting closer to them, you know, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, the, you know, Origins, the World Championships, we'll get you them early. Very, very cool items to bid on. And we have one other unreleased item.
We do.
That is going to be heading our way. And this is the Iconics first appearance of Wolverine. 2 days ago, Ryan Opalk reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I got 4 of these in the office today. We want to give them to you. I'm going to bring them down to Huntsville with me. We're going to have these on our person down there in Huntsville. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to this." I just read Hulk 180 and Hulk 181 to my kids the other day. Some of the funniest Hulk issues, the first appearance of Wolverine. Here we have it in all of its glory for you all to see. You can see the box artwork here. This isn't going to be coming out until the end of June. That's when it's targeted right now. Again, it will be mailed out to you the Monday after our event ends. So Monday, May 6th, the Iconics first appearance of Wolverine will be mailed out to the 3 people who win. We have 3 of these for our auction, and we have one of them that will be given in person to the weekend overall fellowship winner at the event. They'll walk out of the event with this Iconics almost 2 months before it's even going to be releasing to the public, which is pretty
That's
damn
incredible. Seriously.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'm so stoked that we are able to do this. And not only are we able to do it, but we can also show you the dials that are going to be a part of this Iconics first appearance of Wolverine set. I love this box art on the outside. It's so
fun.
honors the Lenwine penned Hulk 180 and 181. And here's the cool thing about I'm an old head when it comes to like comic books, right? I very much want to read the physical issues.
Yeah.
But these issues are worth so much money. You can't find them anywhere. You can't read it. But Marvel Unlimited, you can go back and you can read these old first appearances, and it's really worth it to me. So, I'd say to the community, hey, go pick that up for a month. Go read a bunch of these old issues because they're really worth it. They're so fun. Let's look at the man himself. Let's look at Wolverine in his first appearance here, and I love these cards. WizKids has done such an amazing job doing these Iconics, and at our event, in our auction, I know some people are having a hard time getting hold of Kongs or Death of Superman or Hall of Armor sets. Guess what? Our auction, we have 4 Hall of Armors, we have 4 Death of Superman Iconic sets, we have 7 Kongs, and for some of our other tournaments, Kong is a prize. We have some Kongs available in some of our tournaments. And again, you can see all of the pricing for all of our events up on HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. I digress. Back to Wolverine. I love how they show the trait. I love it's got that big arrow, and it looks like one of those old exposition boxes in the old
perfect
comics. It is so cool.
Yeah.
This Wolverine has Weapon X, Animal, Assassin, Brute, and Soldier. Trait, moving is the thing I do best. Regeneration, super senses when Wolverine uses either. After resolutions, you may place him a number of squares away from his current square equal to the D6 roll result. He also has a special movement power. Wolverine is coming through. Charge, flurry. When Wolverine moves or is placed after resolutions, he may knock back an adjacent character. And a special attack power. Yes, Hulk, I see how strong you are. Blades, claws, fangs. When Wolverine uses it, he may choose a terrain marker equipped to or held by a hit character. If he does, after resolutions, Wolverine may take a close terrain action as free as if he held the chosen terrain marker. So give me that. He stabs it with his claws and then hits you with it. That's so cool. That's so awesome. This figure is so rad. It's 9 clicks long. I cannot wait to play with this figure. And just a little bit of story time with Scotty P, because people who watch the unboxings know that I like to get into this. I think it's so interesting. So many people don't know. Hulk had charged in to Canada about 20 issues prior to this, like issue 160, and was responsible for the creation of a creature named Wendigo. That was all Hulk's fault. In response to that, the government of Canada was like, it's time to build an anti-Hulk weapon, right? Wolverine comes out of an Air Force base, and they have a Canadian Air Force base that is specifically there to monitor whether Hulk has leapt back into their country or not. So as Hulk is leaping from the Appalachian Mountains into Canada, the Air Force base goes, oh, yeah, we're seeing an object changing height, and unless this is a plane bouncing off of the earth multiple times, pretty sure the Hulk is back. Like you said, he's back. And they're like, all right, send out Weapon Alpha, and it ends up being Wolverine. It is so cool. Much fun. Really, honestly, everybody, go read the issues. It's so fun. My kids were laughing so hard.
Amazing. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. Really, really wonderful. Okay, let's take a look at our next figure, and that, of course, would be the title character in the book that Wolverine appeared in for the first time, and that would be the Incredible Hulk. Here you go, and you see this old school Hulk. Doesn't look like the modern day. He's a little bit thinner, right? He doesn't have like all that crazy bulk. It's
like the old school TV show.
This sculpt, and if you haven't seen the iconic sculpts in person, oh my gosh, the shading is so wonderful. Yeah. This sculpt will look just like this when you get the iconics. You've got Avengers, Brute, and Monster keywords. trait crashing into Canada, which he literally does. Like, he hates puny humans. He's trying to find a forest where he can just be alone. He finds these woods, and these pack of wolves attack him, and he's like, why are dogs eating Hulk? It's like this hilarious storyline with him. He was like, maybe I have a puppy, and it turns out to be a snarling wolf, and he fights it. It's so good. When Hulk is given a move action after resolutions, destroy all non-debris terrain markers within 3 squares, then make an attack. This is exactly what he does. He levels an entire forest just leaping around. He has a special attack power. Hulk can throw whole forest. Oh.
Even the phrasing.
Wendigo attacks him with the tree. And he goes, why is Wendigo attacking me with a tree? Wendigo does not know I can throw whole forest. And he picks up a patch of land that has like 10 trees on it and throws it at Wendigo. The WizKids knocked it out of the park with all this stuff. Hulk can throw a whole forest. Super strength. When the Hulk takes a close or ranged terrain action after resolutions, he may generate and pick up an object. Wendigo can't hurt Hulk with just 1 tree. Stop. Impervious when Hulk uses it if the attacker is equipped or holding a terrain marker. Increase the result of the roll by +2. And he has 3 of those stop clicks. So very, very cool piece. The sculpt is incredible. And then the last piece of this particular set that we are going to be auctioning off and awarding to our fellowship winner for the weekend is Wendigo.
Yes.
Has animal, brute, monster, mystical, trait Curse of the Wendigo. At the beginning of the game, generate a Marie Cartier bystander. When Wendigo is KO'd, choose a friendly character this game. That character can use steal energy and modifies their combat values by +1. So the Curse of the Wendigo getting transferred to another friendly figure on your force. Wendigo. Hypersonic speed. When Wendigo uses it, instead of making an attack, he may take a close terrain action as free. And Spell of Subjugation. Stop. Invulnerability. The first time this click is revealed after resolutions, give all characters within 2 squares of either Wendigo or Marie Cartier an action token. You notice the name there is Paul Cartier. Her brother is actually given the Curse of the Wendigo after he gets trapped in a cave because Hulk carelessly caves in this cave that Paul was exploring at the time. It forces him, this gets pretty dark pretty quick, into a moment of cannibalism, and that is apparently how you catch the Curse of the Wendigo. So, yes.
Okay.
The Wendigo is a pretty fearsome creature.
Dang.
And yeah, I like to think that when your friendly character catches the Curse of the Wendigo, they've taken a little bite of the other figure.
Something went very wrong. Well, that's the thing I just learned. Cool.
Yeah. So there you go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed all of these spoilers. I hope you're loving that in the chat here, because that's just a portion of what we offer in the auction and the tournaments. We have so much exclusive stuff that you can only get at the HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend, and we're so excited for everyone to come down. But remember, if you're online, if you can't be there in person, you still have a chance to win our exclusive bystander that was designed by Lucas and PJ and Scott. And you can always bid in the auction for all of these other exclusive items that we have, these early access items, these incredible factory sets. We have, like I said, 240 items. So I really do urge you all to go online on Wednesday the 1st when this thing goes live. Take a look at all we have to offer, because it's going to take you a little while to click through all of these items and see what you're really wanting, see what you're really missing, what you're looking for. We have, con LEs from the past couple of years. We have the current con LEs on top of one-of-a-kind items like that dice tray I told you about earlier, and these cups that we have. We have a Design a Map prize, and of course the crown jewel, Become a Switch Clicks prize, which has gone for multiple $1,000s every single year, because who wouldn't want to be a part of this game that we all love so much?
Yeah, absolutely. This is all so fantastic and so exciting. I'm really glad we got a chance to share some of these little sneak peeks with everyone too, because let's face it, really cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk to just one little thing before we open it up, if anybody has anything to ask here. The last exclusive piece of our HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend, and I might have not mentioned it a couple of times throughout this live stream, is our HeroClix for Huntington's event exclusive map that I've designed every single year since we started. The first year was a Hyper RPG Studios map where I shoot all of the unboxings. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to design, and I actually enlisted Hyper RPG to help me design and give me the layout of their studios so that I could properly represent them. The next year saw me design a Friday Night Lights style Dylan Panther's locker room map, and a lot of people in the HeroClix community are actually fans of Friday Night Lights, so that was really cool to do. And then we had the third year, the Racer Motors Garage map, which was based on a film that I was in. So here we had the unboxing representation, the television show representation, movie representation of projects that I've been in. One thing that we haven't touched is the video game work that I've done. So this year's exclusive event map is going to be based on a video game series I was a part of. This video game series was based on a television series that was very, very big for a very long time. And I'm very proud to announce that next week we will be premiering that on our social media channels, continuing to kind of build the hype. I didn't want to show it off here. Designed by Stevie Z, who... or the art designed by me, but the art is done by Stevie Z. He's done the art for every single one. This video game series that I'm talking about, my character met an untimely fate in the 5th episode of it. And yes, that's a little clue. This video game series came in episodes. So yeah, my character in the game, untimely end. And this map is going to be based upon the location where my character actually met his end. And I am so stoked to announce, and I'm not going to share what the power is, but not power, but the rule for this map is, but for the first time since 2020, a HeroClix legal map will have special rules attached to it. That's right. Cool. This map that I'm designing, WizKids allowed me to make a rule specially designed for this map. And I think a lot of people are going to be interested in playing this thing and building teams around playing on this map. So keep your eyes peeled, everybody out there in chat, everybody out there watching beyond this event. We're looking to premiere that map later next week or next weekend. So
cool. So there's still more to go, everyone. Yes, we've shared a whole bunch of goodies with you tonight, but there's even more coming up. So definitely make sure, like I said before, and I've been saying, in the chat, there is a pinned comment that has the link to HeroClix for Huntington. So check out that link. And if you want to learn more about the HDSA, there is also their link there for them too. So make sure you're checking those all out for sure. Now, we're going to open up things to questions in just a little bit. So if you want to make sure your question is seen, I'm going to ask you to type in caps the word question, then colon, and then your question following after that one. All right. So start getting those questions in. Scott and I will be happy to answer them for you. And we'll probably wrap things up in about what, 10 to 15 minutes or so, you thinking, Scott?
Yeah. Before we go into the question, I just want to say thank you so much to you, Vee. This is the 4th year that you volunteered your time. I know how busy you are, and I know how much you have going on. And I'm just honored that somebody I watched for so long on these channels is willing to step up and donate your time as well. So I want to make sure I say a very special thank you to you. And I know the community really appreciates you coming back. And they used to see you a ton, and we kind of miss you. So it's always good to see your face.
I know. I appreciate it. It's good to be back every once in a while and just say hi to everyone and see those familiar names in the chat again. So yeah, I'm all for it. Okay, so let's see. While we're waiting for any questions that might come through, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So when you are done with all of this, all the preparations, all the getting things done, what do you do for yourself? Because you're doing so much for the community right now and for such a fantastic cause. What do you do for you when things are finally done, the last package is sent out, et cetera, et cetera?
This stuff is what I love to do. This event is something I look forward to all year long. These unboxings that I do for WizKids. You know, my wife said to me the other day, she goes, "Hey, you have so many things that you're juggling all the time. Do you think something has to go?" And then her first question was, maybe the HeroClix stuff? And I looked at her and was like, absolutely not the HeroClix stuff, because yes, I'm busy, but without being tethered to HeroClix, I probably don't read comics anymore. And I love the fact that I have to read comics to continue to be on point for the HeroClix stuff. And it really feeds and nourishes my soul. Coupling that with an event like this feeds me even more. I mean, I feel like this is like the finest 10-course meal I could ever possibly have. And you know the feeling that you get when you're done with that. It's not a what's next. It is a wow, that was incredible feeling, right? Mm-hmm. And you're also stuck. You're like, maybe I can't ever eat anything again, but you know, in the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and appreciate this thing. And you know, the work on this is never actually really truly done. And this is where I get to take a moment and say, Howard, our entire team, Alex, Aaron, all of our judges, Anthony, everyone that's come down, Brad Broyles, who helped us run our online, and all of the online judges that we had. Yes, you see us for these 4-day or 5-day event. But leading up to it, we're having discussions for this 2024 HeroClix for Huntington's event with WizKids starting back last November. We're trying to figure out what's going to be available, what can we get a hold of, how can we improve, how can we iterate on last year's event, how can we make more money and make sure it's going to the right places. I'm thinking about this thing year round. So it's never really about, hey, what do I do for me? It's about, hey, how do I make it better next year? But yeah, in my spare time, if that's the question, you know, I play a lot of Destiny 2. I play some basketball. You know, that's what I do for me in my free time. I coach my kids' sports teams. That's like, you know, what I get to spend some time on. But that's it. I hope that answered your question.
It does. Okay, so I'm going to have the fun of trying to make sure I'm saying these screen names right, because we have some questions coming through. First one is from Drycirc. I'm thinking. Did we get a checklist for the Deadpool Weapon X set?
No, we didn't. And I see the question here. It's like, why did we not get shown a full checklist? I did it once about 4 unboxings ago, and I showed off the entire checklist. And I didn't like that I did that. I am making the decision now, if there's a complete checklist, to not show it off. I think the reason I do the unboxings is to help the hype along. The reason I do the unboxings in the first place is because the game died in 2008 and it was no more, and until NECA picked up the ball, and it was the dark times after Topps bought HeroClix, and until NECA picked up the ball and WizKids got back on their feet, we had no HeroClix. And I lived in a world where I won't get to play with this with my kids. I have 7 long boxes of comic books in the closet that I am sharing with my kids. I had a trunk of Beanie Babies that I collected when my little sister was born on my 15th birthday, and my brother was born when I was 18. So in the 90s, they were babies, and they loved Beanie Babies. And I was buying them, and I started buying a second one and going, eventually, if I have kids, I want to give these to the kids. And my kids have this basket of Beanie Babies, and it's their all-time favorite thing to play with. I want to share stuff with my kids, and I want HeroClix to be around for a very long time. That's why I do these unboxings. I called WizKids and said, hey, I want to volunteer to step up and do this because we don't have this happening. I think the community deserves like a hype machine for this game. And so that's why I do it. And showing a complete checklist kind of flies in the face of that a little bit. There are a lot of very talented people that also do unboxings after usually my series airs, or even before. I also don't want to step all over their stuff because it feels bad, man. So I think keeping a little mystery until the day that the set comes out is a good thing, and keeping some surprises for people who are unboxing their own bricks once they can pick it up at their local shop or play in their pre-release games. I like that still being a thing. So I've decided I'm never going to show a checklist again. Sorry.
Totally fair. Totally get it. Okay, let's move on to Dark Shadow Raven's question then. Is there any way of getting the old Scott Porter bystander after this event?
Yes, I'm so glad that you asked the question. The Battle Royals, both in person and virtual, if you win, you get a choice of receiving the newest bystander, if you would like, Lucas, PJ, and Scott, or any of our past bystanders if you happen to miss out on them. We still have a very limited amount of the Spirit of the Game bystanders. We have more of the Scott Porter bystanders still to go. And I don't know why, but just a ton of Scott Crampton bystanders. It's almost like nobody wanted them last year. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Lesser Scott, I love you so much.
It cracks me up just as carrying through even now. It's wonderful. You two are amazing.
And congratulations to Crampton. I don't know if everybody out there saw, but his Shark Tank episode where his murder mystery business got like a partner in Blumhouse. I mean, are you kidding me? Crazy that he got a deal on Shark Tank. So that's why he's really not here. He's just too big for us now at this point. But to answer your question, yes, there is a way to still get the bystander tokens if you win them. And you know what? We'll throw a couple of them in the auction as well.
Fantastic. Okay, moving on to Edison Tabletop Games. We had 2 Scott Porter figures, a white shirt and a black shirt, which both look fantastic. Will you get a new shirt color? Is there plans for like a new shirt color?
Not this year. We have had some preliminary talks about if we do something like we did last year with the Scott Porter figure again. What direction would that go? What would that look like? But they're all just preliminary talks, and it does not mean that another figure like that is coming. The massive undertaking that was for WizKids it blew me away when they pitched me the idea. That was their idea. It wasn't my idea to do those figures. And outside of production costs and shipping, they gave every cent of those figures to HDSA. I mean, HDSA got a huge check last year. And I think it's just so cool. Like Jameson is coming down for the event, and Ryan from WizKids is coming down to the event. They're going to get to shake hands in person. There really is a true relationship and connection between these two organizations now. And Scott Porter was the bridge for that. But there's still such a demand. I think there's still people out there who are looking for the Scott Porter figures. I think we're bringing a case of each to this event. To be salted into all of the events over the weekend. There's going to be some in the auction. There's going to be some in a couple of the different tournaments. So there's ways for people to get their hands on them again. And I think we wanted to give it another year before we went down that journey again. So, but if I did get another shirt, I don't know, probably be a navy blue, and or maybe even like an ice blue.
Ooh, I like that. That sounds good. Food for thought. Okay, so Bob Assassin 777, what has been your favorite HeroClix made within this modern age?
Ooh, man. This is where it gets tricky for me, because unboxing all these things and having all these figures in my head consistently is kind of crazy. I think it is, just from a pure game design standpoint, and what I loved playing with in the past couple of years, the Doc Ock from Spider-Man Beyond Amazing. Dr. Octopus isn't one of my all-time characters, unless I'm talking about Superior Spider-Man. And that run, I thought that was such a brilliant idea, and I loved it so much. But just from the game standpoint, that Doc Ock is super annoying, but also just like such an inventive way for a click to be delivered. So I think I'm going to go with Doc Ock for now. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Let me know in comments if I'm completely wrong, if you love playing against that figure, or if you absolutely hate it.
All right. So the Alpha Strike asks, how often do you play HeroClix?
Oh man, not as much as I wish I did. I still always shout out my local game stores. I call them out all the time. And unfortunately, one of them went away a couple of years ago. I used to have 3 places that I would play. Always Gaming up in Chatsworth, Enjoy, which unfortunately closed in Reseda, and Nightwear, which is in Studio City. And I used to go to all 3 of those venues pretty regularly. I don't get to go all that much anymore. Now it's the random sealed event. I'll go and I'll play in sealed. I'm very familiar with all the clicks, but team construction for me takes a while, and that's almost more time consuming than playing in a tournament. And to be able to do that, and also a lot of my HeroClix are in storage right now because of water damage that happened in my house. It's just been constructing teams has been a little bit trickier for me. So once every 3 months, I think, at this point. That being said, I'm still quite formidable. You can ask people at the championships, the Clicks championships down in Orlando, where I placed in the top 4, or the people that played against me in Scott Porter versus the World, where I made it to top 4 as well. I could still play. I just don't get to play as much as I'd like.
Love it. Okay, so Rodamonte Ventura, question for you. Will Scott Porter versus the World sealed be 2 boosters of Deadpool, or 1 booster of Deadpool and 1 booster of Next Phase?
Right. Yeah, I said this earlier on. We are so ahead of schedule. WizKids is sending us 7 cases of Deadpool Weapon X. And we're using 6 of those cases for up to 120 players to receive 1 booster apiece of Deadpool. The second booster you'll be getting is Next Phase. WizKids is also very excited to get more Next Phase into players' hands. They really, really, really want the community to start pulling Kevin's, and they are so excited about it, and they want to continue to get the product out there. So between Deadpool Weapon X and Next Phase, those are the 2 boosters you will be playing with. If we don't have 120 entrants, say we only have 90, which we are expecting to fill the tournament at 120. If we have 90, say, those 30 boosters will be first come, first serve in your mulligans. And mulligans will be 1 Deadpool, 1 Next Phase until we're out of Deadpool. If all the Deadpool goes in the first round, mulligans will be 2 boosters of Next Phase. Again, WizKids is fully outfitting this entire sealed tournament. We didn't pay a cent for any of this product. And the fact that we're getting it this early in this day and age of shipping issues still being so present, it's pretty incredible. So I hope that answered your question. We are super excited though this year. Last year we had 106 players, and we had the Avengers 60th super pre-release. So it's just cool to be able to bring that back, and even earlier than Avengers 60th was last year. So
Wonderful.
Come on down. The other 2 bricks though, just so you all know, are going to prize support. And that's going to be the winner of the tournament that day is going to get a sealed brick of Deadpool Weapon X to open in front of everybody that night and make everyone incredibly jealous.
Yes, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this as one more question because I actually need to free up the internet soon because D&D game is coming up. So from Elijah Becker, question for you. Will the HeroClix for Huntington's event ever expand beyond just the one venue? Can we share the love with the rest of the U.S. or even in the world? Do you have plans to make this as something going on even in different locations?
At our biggest, we are 12 people working in concert to make this happen. And it's incredibly difficult to pull something like this off. And I wish that we could have a HeroClix for Huntington's tournament once a month in a state here or there. But as it stands right now, WizKids and myself and Howard are all able to do this one big event every year annually. And for right now, that's how it's going to stay. We've had some talks about, do we want to do this in a different location? Do we want to move this? Do we want to move this around? But the feeling that we have of like true community at Howard's shop down at Lucky Dice has been just so welcoming and so awesome. There is a possibility in the future that we would end up going somewhere else. Having multiple events, I kind of have to be there, I think, for this event to happen.
Right.
So unless I'm Jamie Madrox and I can be in 12 cities at once,
right.
I don't foresee more than one event happening unless we become a biannual kind of event.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally fair. All right. So I think this is a great point to wrap things up. Again, thank you to everyone who joined us this evening and hung out with us and got to see all the cool previews and our special guests.
Yeah.
Thank you to Jameson and PJ for jumping in and chatting with us. Really, truly do appreciate you joining in and hanging out with us for this 4th annual preview stream. And for the chat, if you have any other bits of information you need or additional details you want to find out, again, go to that pinned chat comment, check out the HeroClix for Huntington's link, jump in there. It's going to lead you to all these different bits and places involved in this fantastic event. Again, don't forget it's running May 1st through May 5th this year, 2024. And if you want to learn more about HDSA, again, go to their link that is also in that pinned comment and find out all the information, especially how you can get your tax form filled out, and they will kindly send that back to you so you get that all taken care of, because everything you contribute to this event, all the auctions and everything like that, you are helping out a fantastic and extremely worthy cause, and they want to say thank you by making sure you get the proper tax information. All right, so make sure you get that taken care of. So Scott, before we wrap this up, is there anything you'd like to leave with the community before we say our goodbyes?
Yeah, HeroClixForHuntingtons.com. You can sign up for everything. If you want to donate directly to HDSA, we have a link on HeroClixForHuntingtons.com where you can go directly to HDSA and donate.
Nice.
If you're somebody that doesn't really play anymore, but you still want to help the cause, we have that way for you to help as well. Outside of that, I just want to give a hearty thank you to Vee, to Jameson and PJ for showing up today and donating their time, to WizKids for everything they allow us to share with you, the community. I want to say thank you to everybody here that spent this hour and 45 with us. It means the world to me. Everybody that is going to be in Alabama, I can't wait to see you. And for everybody that is still going to be online, you mean more to us than you could possibly imagine. We're trying to give everybody the opportunity to be a part of this event, and we hope that you will take advantage of that. So thank you so much. And until I see you for the HeroClix for Huntington's event weekend, may all your rolls be critical hits. And yes, Aaron, I am ready for all the big hugs.
Perfection. All right, everyone, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. We'll see you on the flip side. Take care. Bye.
Peace.